I'm Priya here in the Dukascopy TV Centre, and you're watching the economic calendar for Friday, August 13th, with an overview of the economic news releases that might be shaking up the currency markets. Preliminary German GDP for the second quarter opens the list at 6 in the morning, and it's a high importance news item. There was a marginal growth in the year's opening quarter, coming mostly from government spending. The important second quarter flash GDP for France will be available at 6:45. GDP grew by a fraction in the year's first 3 months, and it was mostly boosted by exports. French Consumer Price Index for July is also out at the same time. Prices remained level month on month in June, and inflation is expected to decrease in the months to come due to summer sales. Swiss producer and import prices for July are scheduled for publication at 7:15 in the morning. PPI dropped more than the market had anticipated in June, and it was the first contraction in 4 months. One more important GDP publication at 9 when the Eurozone stats for the second quarter are out. GDP increased by 0.2% on quarter in Q1 after rising by 0.1% in the final quarter of 2009. Eurozone trade balance for June is released simultaneously. A deficit of 3.4 billion was reported in May, and it compares with a 2.2 billion surplus posted in May 2009. It is followed by two greenback movers at 12:30, the US CPI and retail sales publications for July. Consumer Price Index decreased by 0.1% in June, and downward pressure was coming from dropping energy costs. Retail sales were in the red for the second consecutive month in June, but a rise is expected this time round. Canadian motor vehicle sales for June are also scheduled at 12:30. Solid truck sales resulted in a monthly increase in the overall stats for May after 2 declines in the previous reports. Preliminary University of Michigan sentiment for August is next on the list at 1:55 p.m. GMT. The index took a sharp slide in July when it decreased from June's level of 76. And the final item on this schedule is the US Business Inventories report for June at 2. Businesses are slowly building up their stocks, and inventories were 0.1% up in May. This brings Friday's economic calendar to an end. We'll be back on Monday with the next overview of the key macroeconomic news events. Goodbye.